Welcome to the Mindset Elevator, everybody. Listen, everything fell apart when you left the situation. And this could be a positive thing, but it could also be something that is more of the negative side. And I'm going to explain why. If there were plans put forth or plans being concocted to get you in a bad situation or a compromising situation, to see your demise, to see your fall, listen, what has happened here now is that because you've left the situation or you've exited the situation because you probably saw the plans, saw the plot, realized what was going on, saw that it was against you when you had to leave the situation, now it's kind of like the enemies are left scrambling because you were the person they wanted to get, and now you're no longer accessible. So, in that sense, when you left the situation, everything fell apart, right? Because now they cannot enact the attacks. They cannot attack you. They cannot hurt you because the person that was their main target is no longer within reach. Everything fell apart when you left. Now the enemies, especially if it's a situation where there's one main perpetrator and then all the minions under them, everybody's kind of left wondering, what do they do now? Because the plan has been destroyed because you're not available. You cannot be targeted anymore, or the plan is destroyed, right? So now, because you're not in that situation, everything fell apart. The plans fell apart. The plot fell apart. Everybody's telling on each other. Everybody's turning on each other. Everything fell apart because you left. But also, what about the circumstances that involve your greatness or your accolades or your success, or, just the boost you tend to give a lot of people in life? What happens when you leave that workplace that you could have elevated, or maybe you were trying to elevate, you were trying to bring things to the next level, try to get everybody on board, and people weren't buying it. And in fact, people could have been trying to expose you or hurt you or demean you and to make you feel insignificant and unworthy at that workplace. What happens when you left, right? I guarantee everything fell apart when you left. Now the boss doesn't know what to do. The same person that hired you could very well be at a loss here. Their main star is gone. The one that they tried to dim, the individual they tried to get at, the person they tried to destroy within that workplace that was valuable. They see your value now, but you're no longer around. So now it's like everything in that workplace fell apart because the main star moved on to a brighter horizon, moved on to bigger plans, bigger dreams, where, they decided to go where they were respected, or they were able to be themselves. Maybe you could not be yourself at that workplace. Maybe it was too toxic, right? And I know a lot of you have mentioned being a part of toxic environments, as it relates to the workplace. It's sad, right? And so everything fell apart when you left that workplace, when you decided that this is not your scene. This is not healthy for you. It's not good for your mental health. You know what you're made of, and you have more grit than what you're able to produce, what you're able to show. What happens when that family doesn't have their scapegoat anymore? The one, once again, that targeting itch that they have a lot of the times. What happens when the one who they love to get at is no longer within their grasp? Then what? Then everyone's looking at each other in that family like, what do we do? What do we do? They don't come around now, or he's moving different towards us now. What do we do in this situation where the person we're always trying to get at, a lot of people in your family as well, they could not like each other, or have problems with each other. They beef with each other. They have fights with each other, but they will all bond over their disdain for you. What happens when you leave the situation? Everything falls apart for that wishy-washy, wayward dynamic that could be your family. Now everyone's kind of left like, what do we do? What do we do? He's not around. What do we do? And then they start turning on each other as well. They start hating each other as well. Because remember, a lot of these individuals, family, friends, co-workers, a lot of them, you'll see, like, they don't really get along with one another very well. They don't really like each other like that, but they pretend to get along, or they pretend to bond, or they act like they like each other because they all don't like you, right? Or they're all hating on you. So they find solace in that. It's actually quite disturbing. When you left the situation, everything fell apart. People cannot use you or receive your blessings. They cannot be in your presence. They cannot see your greatness unfold. They can no longer get advice from you, get that leg up in life, appreciate your existence. They can't do anything like that anymore because you're out of there. You're no longer in that situation. You're no longer within the grasp of these wayward people, right? Individuals that don't support you really, or hate on you, or want to have a reason to target you, want to have a reason to see your demise be brought about. You're going to see the power of staying out of the way, right? You're going to see the power. You're going to feel so enlightened when you stay out of the way of these toxic cycles, toxic drama. I mean, what drama is not toxic, right? It's all the same. It's all in the same class. It's really unfortunate, though, that things could have been well intact had people treated you right or come correct at you. Instead, they came incorrect. They came with drama. They came with malice. They came with envy, oozing with jealousy. It's grotesque, but this is how a lot of these individuals behave. But they don't move like that when you're not around anymore. They start turning on everybody else. Here's the thing too, when you left the situation, when you left, their facades faded. They could no longer keep up appearances. They could no longer put forth that specific narrative that they were really trying to drive home. They can no longer do this effectively because the real one has exited the building. The real one has decided, like, listen, I'm not going to be a part of this. What is this? This is beneath me. I'm too elevated to be a part of the drama. I'm too elevated. Let me know in the comments if you feel like these different demographics or these different groups of people or different situations started to fragment after you left, after you were no longer accessible, either by way of you moving on, moving out, right? Whatever the case might be, quit the job, stop going around certain relatives. Did you witness the facades fade from these groups of people, or their lives became fragmented, or they even started to turn on each other? Let it be known in the comments if you've witnessed any of these happenings. Walking away is powerful. Walking away is not always, a negative thing. Walking away could be a positive thing, especially if it's to preserve your mental health, especially if it's to preserve your elevation, to really stay on that climb. I mean, you have to do what you have to do. At first, it might hurt, you have to step away. Or that if you step away from a certain person or a certain workplace, that things are going to go bad. Like, what if you're really at the top of that workplace, but it's so bad you have to leave, and your exit is going to cause trouble for these people? You got to do what you got to do. Because at the end of the day, are they rocking for you like that? Are they riding for you like that? Are they looking out for your best interest like that? Same with your relatives, your own folks. A lot of these people, they will sacrifice you. They don't care what happens to you all the time, so long as they stay afloat, so long as their narratives and their facades is what is being pushed out. But a lot of times it crumbles, it fragments, it fades, they're exposed inevitably for their wrongdoings, for the fact that they were not being genuine, they were not being real, they were not treating you right. Everything fell apart when you left the situation. Everything just faded away for all the people who had less than savory intentions for you and your future and your advancement as well. So stay wary. And and if you had to walk away, let it be known in the comments. Let it be known if you had to leave certain situations for your mind. All right, for your peace of mind. Did you have to do it? And what was the situation that you had to walk away from? And once again, did you notice that things became fragmented when you did? There's a correlation because you're a very strong person, very different person. When you walk away, things around you, you're going to see the house of cards fall. It's like people can no longer deal with themselves or deal with life or deal with each other. Not anymore. Because the subject, the person they were putting all their hate on, all their disdain on, all their jealousy on, all their focus on, is no longer around. Oh, yes. You're going to see things fall, but you continue to rise. You can, because you had that awesome spirit, you had that heart, you have the grit, and you had good intentions, and you have a genuine spirit that is helping you, carry you through these trying times in life. So stay protected, stay prayed up, everybody, and you will continue the upward climb because you did the right things. Now, sometimes things, they were hard to do because they were painful. We knew that it was going to bring about negative outcomes, but the negative outcomes was not what happened to you. It was your environment that was going to potentially be negatively affected, but you are on the upward movement. And stay on that, everybody. Stay up, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching the videos, supporting the channel. I really appreciate you guys, and I really hope that you guys have been liking the content. So much more is coming to the channel, so stay tuned, everybody. Stay elevated. I'm going to see you guys soon, okay? Bye.